So F-Word Live is a feminist spoken word event that started in 2006, where we talk about the F-word, and the F-word being feminist or feminism. People have in their mind an idea of what it is and an idea of what a feminist looks like. I think F-Word provides an exposition that F-Word is not just for women. Feminism, men are feminists, women are feminists, that feminists come in all shapes, sizes, religions, political affiliations.
All right, so the first thing you need to know about spoken word slam poetry, how many of you have been to a spoken word event?
It provides a space for me to step a little bit out of my faculty role in that, but it also provides people a space to say things that are on their mind in ways that you really can't anymore.
In your presence, just existing in your essence.
I think the kind of work I do, especially gender and diversity work, changes everything about my relationships with people, with friends and family. I think probably the most poignant example of how it impacted my personal life is actually occurred right after I got my PhD. I'd just finished my PhD and we had a family reunion. And I went home for that reunion and I felt like nobody would talk to me. And I was really kind of sad. Like my cousins and my aunts and my uncles were, it seemed like they were tiptoeing around me and I didn't understand. So I finally, asked my mom, I'm like, what's going on? I'm feeling really ignored. And did I do something? And she said, no, I think everybody's just really intimidated. You're the only person in our family to get a PhD. Nobody, And so she goes, why don't you just go, go eat watermelon on the porch with everybody, right? And so the way we eat watermelon at the family reunion is you just lean over the porch and the seeds and the juice just drip on the lawn. And this is, and so it was out there spitting watermelon seeds that there was sort of this moment where they went, oh, you're the same person. The graduate class, which is comprised of predominantly international students, has been sort of a big challenge to teach, and challenge because it's teaching how to navigate graduate pathways is the title of the course, but there's a lot of writing components and a lot of cultural difference to navigate as well. And so we were going along, and one of the assignments I had them do was to write about a challenge they've had since coming to the U.S. And for most of them, this is their first visit to the U.S., and they arrived the day before school started or something like this. So they had a lot of challenges. So I asked them, and one of them, there's been a lot of discussion about food, but one of them said they have not been able to find a halal butcher. The problem I'm facing from the above statement is that there aren't any halal butchers in Moscow, period. You can say Moscow, we don't say it's a city. They were writing about that challenge, and I went home and I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, there's a butcher in Pullman, but they have no car to get there, and so this is a problem. And being the kind-hearted person she is, she says, ooh, I could drive them. It may be weird for you to offer as the professor, but I would be willing to, take them over there and let them get what they need. And I thought, oh, that's actually a really kind idea. And then it occurred to me that if I did that, I would have to explain who she was and that she was my wife, because I haven't lived closeted in years, and that might substantially change how they think of me and whether it was worth the risk of outing myself to individuals who are from countries, I don't know what their individual beliefs are, but from countries who are not very affirming, certainly not welcoming or accepting of LGBT folks. I clearly have wedding rings, and so I think my international students must assume I'm married. I think they understand what that means, but they've never once asked me about my husband or anything like that. So I also find that there seems to be a respectful distance there, that they aren't inquiring about personal things. The content of the course also is not psychology, so it doesn't require me to share any sort of specific examples. I'm mostly talking about how to write an abstract and how to format a thesis and how to get mentored in graduate schools. And I think I worry more that it will change our interactions, right? I don't know if they would be okay with me still having status over them if they knew this, right? That would there still be respect there? And I worry a little bit about that, but not so much that I wouldn't be honest about who I am or authentic.
That's great. Thanks.
You're welcome. class mixer was good.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a good turnout.
Alexa, play Coffee House.
The playlist Butch Walker and more from Amazon Music.
It doesn't ever listen to me.
Fairy tales don't always get a happy ending, but you always get a lesson.
When I'm listening to our other poets, most of them are students, and so sometimes I'm very proud of them. Like, oh, look, they were in my class, and they're doing this good work, and they're being brave, and they're stepping up in ways that even a year ago they weren't willing to do. I think almost every spoken word thing I've ever written is usually following a reaction to something, either following a media report of something, an event, or an experience that I've had in the classroom or just in my life. And I just kind of write it.
Exercise more. The judge said justice was served when he took the bigger half of everything. He said changing her last name was a sign of her commitment to him, but what commitment did he make? Relationship. But when asked about her parents, talks about her dad first and what he does for a living, and her mother only second. And I'm ready when you are to go only as far as you request. But baby, before that happens, you have to say yes.
I always think in my research I'm doing sort of the empirical piece of that. Like, let me show you empirical evidence that this occurs. In spoken word, I'm sort of doing let me show you how it feels when this occurs.